And if she chooses to follow Jesus, the challenge will not be accepting his love and forgiveness. The challenge will be for her like it is for all of us. It will be the releasing of control of her life to him, of allowing him to truly be the Lord of her life. You know, we often talk about, I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior and Lord. The Savior part, yes, is immediate. That Lord part is a lifelong process of really giving all of our life over to him. For spiritual formation, as the being conformed part goes against the grain of our do-it-yourself culture and our powerful need to be in control of our existence. We like to lift ourselves up by our own bootstraps, don't we? To allow someone else to control our lives is seen as weakness to be avoided at all cost. It all boils down to who will be in control. Who will be God in my life? The English poet William Henley captured the spirit of our culture well when he wrote, "I am the master of my fate and the captain of my soul." Or maybe you resonate better with the aha moment of our then 10-year-old daughter Megan when she proclaimed enthusiastically one day, "Things go better when I'm in charge." Oh, they certainly do, don't they? We constantly struggle with this issue of control. And in the final analysis, it really comes down to this, and a very quippy little saying that I've heard all my life, but means more and more the more I struggle with this control thing. Let go and let God. Let go of your need to have control of everything, and let God be in control. Our part is to offer ourselves to God in ways that enable him to do that transforming work of grace in our life. Now, the definition is the process of being conformed, and only God does the forming. We can't form ourselves. Being conformed to the image of Christ. If I could shape the character of our little granddaughter, I'd love to think she would be compassionate and honest and quick to forgive, deeply caring for others, a lover and protector of all living things, one who can be counted on to keep her word, and one who loved and served Jesus. In other words, I would pray that she would embrace the image of God that is already a part of her spiritual DNA. For the scriptures are clear that when they say God created us in his own image, in the image of God he created male and female, he created them. He breathed the very breath of life into our nostrils. And from the beginning, human wholeness has been inseparable from the image of God. You and I, before we were even conceived, God knew us and had placed in us his image that longingly seeks after him our whole life. That's where our thirst for spiritual understanding comes from, even when we don't know God. It's there. It's a part of who we are. The truth of the matter is that we're being created in the image of God means that being created in the image of God means that we're wired to be compassionate persons whose relationships are characterized by love and forgiveness. Persons whose lives are a healing, liberating, transforming touch of God's grace upon their world. Again and again, the New Testament writers emphasize that this is the work of God in seeking to do in us what he seeks to do in us, to grow us into Christ's likeness. Now, Paul said it this way to the Christians at Corinth. And this is a paraphrase, but bear with me. Whenever anyone turns to the Lord, the barriers that we obstruct are taken away by God. And then suddenly we recognize that God is a living, personal presence, not a piece of chiseled stone. And when God is personally present as a living spirit, those restricting ways we formerly lived are recognized as obsolete. We're free of them. All of us. Nothing between us and God. Our face is shining with the brightness of his face. And so we are transfigured much like the Messiah, and our lives gradually become brighter and more beautiful as God enters our lives and we become like him. Now here's something to take careful note of in this process of being formed in the image of Christ. And it is one of the secrets of the formation process, that it is at the points of our unlikeness to Christ's image that he does the greatest forming. It's at the points of our unlikeness to Christ's image that God meets us in those places where we are most alienated from him. God is present to us in the most imprisoning bondage of our brokenness. God uses our points of unlikeness as a vehicle to move us toward his goal of conforming us into the image of Christ. And God does some of his best work when we get honest and quiet with him about the broken places and the old sinful practices of our lives.